You post every day, the likes roll in. But if your bank account hasn't moved, you're trapped in the applause economy. Small business owners often see corporations running broad, aesthetic awareness campaigns and try to copy them. But a local service business does not have the cash reserves to float an unmeasurable branding campaign while waiting for a result. Dan Kennedy built a career dismantling this exact mistake. Known as the Professor of Harsh Reality, he pioneered an alternative, math-driven approach to marketing. His rule is absolute. If you put $1 into an advertising channel and cannot track exactly how many come back out, you are not marketing. You are paying for entertainment. This chart breaks down the sanity versus vanity check. On the left are distracting vanity metrics: followers, brand awareness, and logos. On the right are sanity metrics dictating survival: cost per acquisition, lifetime value, and return on ad spend, the revenue earned per advertising dollar. We are extracting 10 specific insights from Kennedy's decades of consulting to show you how to shift away from vanity metrics and build a predictable revenue system. Until you stop equating social media approval with commercial viability, any new marketing tactic you try will only accelerate the bleed of your capital. The first insight requires a shift in how you spend your time. You are no longer a plumber, a writer, or a coach. You are a marketer of those services. Half of your working hours must be allocated to acquiring customers. This means accepting a difficult trade-off. You are no longer competing on the quality of your manual labor or your craft. You are competing on your ability to acquire a customer profitably. Insight 2 is the use of hostility copy. Instead of trying to appeal to everyone, you write advertisements that explicitly tell the wrong people, the bargain hunters and the uncommitted, not to buy from you. This diagram shows how that filter works in practice. By actively repelling the tire kickers at the top of the funnel in red, you isolate a concentrated stream of buyers in green. You position your business as an exclusive prize rather than a needy vendor. The cost is intentional alienation. This approach will trigger complaints, and the total size of your top-of-funnel audience will shrink. Insight 3 demands that you rewrite all your messaging to focus entirely on the exact pain you eliminate for the customer. You sell the outcome, not the process. To do this, Kennedy relies on the PAS formula: problem, agitate, solution. You present the prospect's problem, poke at that problem until the pain is visceral, and only then introduce your service as the specific solution. This requires letting go of the internal need for recognition. Your customers do not care about your proprietary tools, your specific methodology, or your industry certifications. They only care about what your work gets them. Shifting from a needy commodity provider to an outcome-driven expert is the only way a small business can command premium pricing. Insight 4 states that the offer matters more than the copy. Before you write a single word of a sales letter, you must engineer results in advance. Things like free audits, bold guarantees, or heavily stacked bonuses. To make an offer truly irresistible, you have to be willing to reduce your profit margins on the front-end sale. The goal here is solely to acquire the customer, knowing you will make the profit back on repeat business later. Insight 5 is the message-market-media match. This requires deep demographic and psychographic research to ensure your pitch aligns with a highly specific audience and the specific channel they use. The trade-off is hypersegmentation. You can no longer run one lazy, generic ad campaign for your entire audience. Each segment requires a distinct message. Insight 6 is a strict rule: always command a response. Every piece of communication you publish must include a clear, urgent, and specific call to action. Because you are constantly asking the prospect to act, your content will inherently feel more aggressive. You have to abandon the safety of publishing pure informational content. Insight 7 is the absolute refusal to spend money on getting your name out there. You allocate $0 to isolated brand awareness. Brand awareness isn't abandoned entirely. Instead, it becomes a free, secondary byproduct generated by direct response campaigns that are already paying for themselves through lead generation. Pairing a mathematically sound offer with a highly specific niche allows a business to rely on predictable conversion instead of hope. Insight 8 is the sequence of sequentials. You must build multi-step mixed media follow-up campaigns that track a lead for months. People rarely buy the first time they see your offer. Relentless follow-up captures the massive percentage of distracted leads who need multiple touchpoints before making a decision. Insight 9 is the shift from manual promotions to automated systems. Instead of one-off campaigns, you build continuous funnels that operate independently. Building these systems requires high initial technical complexity. You will face software subscription costs and spend significant time testing and optimizing the sequence before it runs smoothly. Insight 10 mandates absolute tracking. Every initiative requires distinct metrics, like specific landing pages, unique call tracking numbers, and UTMs. UTMs are simple text codes attached to web links that tell you exactly which ad generated a click. While the software has evolved, the foundational discipline of rigorous data tracking and meticulous entry has driven direct response since the catalog era. This level of tracking provides absolute financial clarity. The business owner instantly knows which ad campaigns to scale up and which ones to kill. It also adds operational friction to every launch. You can no longer casually post on social media without setting up the tracking architecture first. These strict back-end metrics provide the infrastructure for a business to operate as an autonomous revenue machine, independent of the founder's daily effort. Dan Kennedy's 10 insights are not a universal fix. They form a rigid mathematical framework that demands trade-offs in how you run your operations. Use this decision tree. The starting node asks for your primary goal. The left path highlights immediate ROI, leading to ideal candidates, bootstrap startups, local shops, and B2B consultants. The right path prioritizes market share, VC-backed startups, and mainstream creators. The intentional hostility and friction required by Kennedy's methods will actively damage the broad brand safety that mass-market companies need to secure corporate sponsorships. If your goal is applause, build a brand. But for control, predictable revenue, and freedom, build a direct response system and measure your marketing solely by the chime of the cash register.